Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Trying to get this all situated, man, with the best times to kind of get on here and kick that knowledge. But welcome to On Your Highlight podcast. Um, Brought to you by Neighborhood Athletes. Man, this is season 2, episode number 2. So we came with the first episode, the first season. Um, we kind of had a recap on the last episode of what that would look like. And then on our last episode, we kind of rolled out just some new things of what we're going to do and on this season of a podcast. And so today, I want to just kind of be able to go into some other detailed stuff of what we're going to be rolling out with Neighborhood Athletes. And so let me talk to my people that's on IG. If you're on IG, man, you can go see us live. You can ask questions, comments, and all that. We on Facebook, Twitter, which is known as X, and all of that. And then we on YouTube. So let me make sure that we all good. Let me get a mic check 1 2. Let me get a mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Somebody give me a heads up that we all good. And then we're gonna get this party started. But yeah, man, there's been a lot going on in the city, man. I kind of try to stay out of the way just in regards to when it comes to the political stuff or whatever the case may be, because just a lot of people, the emotions, what I'm saying, a lot of stuff is deeper than what we think. What I mean? We think that people is just mentally ill, what I'm saying, and it's mental health, and to a degree it could be. However, but a lot of people are not talking about the foods that we eating is the main ingredient to the active triggers of what's getting to our brain, right? The toxins, like the things of what we eat, and the toxins that come out of that, it's what fumes and accumulate, and ultimately is going to make its way to the brain. And so when we get to the point where there's things functioning with our brain that's not supposed to be there, then it's easy to identify an delusional behavior and kind of give your emotion to that behavior just based on what you think or how you feel at that moment. And a lot of them foods that we eat, it have the high sugars, it's high in sodium, it have a lot of things that is not going to allow human beings to kind of be themselves. If somebody's stomach aching, how can you be smiling? I don't know too many people, if they stomach hurting and all those things, they're not about to walk around with a smile, and so the core root of these emotional behaviors that we see, whether it's violence of any kind, the core root of that is the food that we put in our mouth. We're going to say that for another episode, but I kind of wanted to just address that because I see a lot of, where I'm at, I see a lot of emotional behavior just kind of going on in the city for whatever reason. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of where we got to look at is kind of like, what are we doing to kind of improve ourselves with what we eat? Let's see where the linkage at is with that. So I wanted to lay that out there. But today we got a good show. We got a short show today. I'm called, kind of, develop some athletes today later on here. So I got to cut here within the next 45 minutes and then make sure I get to these shorties so I can keep that, getting these shorties them results. You know what I'm saying? And so we're going to roll out some things today that I kind of been thinking about. So again, y'all can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Y'all see that on the bottom of the screen. This is Neighborhood Athletes on Your Highlight podcast. It's brought to you by Neighborhood Athletes. Man, we're gonna be on every Tuesday and Thursday. That's the goal. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna have a set time just because I'm trying to see what this algorithm thing is like, see where a lot of my followers is on the phone and kind of going through their socials or whatever, see what the national attention is like at certain times of the day. So I'm just kind of rolling some things out and kind of figure out the time, kind of as we go. So yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go right into the first topic, man, because this topic right here is a big one. And I want to be able to roll it out so that we can get the people to start thinking. And so the goal is we want to be able to again, I told y'all before the last show, we want our athletes to monetize off of their name, image, and likeness. So what that is we are in this era of sports where athletes is going to be getting so much money these days. You know, I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if they're not financially literate to handle that money, they can be led astray. If they don't have a plan, as far as what it is, what they're going to do with their money, not just about buying shoes and buying property and jewelry and all of that. But if they don't have a plan, then somebody going to have a plan for them. And that's what we don't want. So I'm going to roll out a plan that it's a bigger project that's going on behind the scenes, that I will roll out to the people here in due time. But I want to paint the picture of what it is that we can do just as people, you know, with 5 acres of land. You can just start with 5 acres and then just kind of work your way up. But I want to give the people just a visualization of what it is that you can do with some land, to really be an impact to the community. I do know here in my community, there's millions of dollars getting thrown around here for community. They call it revitalization, you know, which means, you know, we're gonna approve a certain amount of dollars, and you got to go apply for a certain amount of dollars, and based off of certain criterias, you know, you will be granted a certain amount of dollars based on your criteria. And so there's a chain of which you got to apply to get a little bit of some of that bread. However, when you talk about the purpose of that money, the purpose of the money is revitalization. So if you're trying to revitalize any community, right, first you got to look at where the problem is at, and you got to see who and what is in the position to make certain decisions that inherit that problem. And if they're not out the way, whether they lost a job or they didn't step down, then okay, that's a conflict of interest. It don't matter if you're a new business, a small business, or whatever. If you got old water still in the pipes, it don't matter what new water you put in, it's still filthy. And so we got to identify that. And so when those applications came out, there was a lot of people who really didn't get access to that application. So we know that in a lot of neighborhoods, when it comes to certain groups of people, you know, where the money's supposed to go to, it really don't get allocated to that. And so where I'm at right now, this money being out over 4 months, more than 4 months, we're talking about over 400 million. Community revitalization, revitalize the community. And so I don't know if these people plans is not legit, but I'm gonna roll out a little something for people to think about. And this is just off of my mindset of what I do, which lead me to the next piece here. We're gonna talk about what I do as it relates to developing the athletes. We're gonna go into that because that's a big deal as well. Because at the end of the day, I want to be able to control the narrative with neighborhood athletes as it relates to building up the athlete. It don't even matter. It don't matter if they come out the womb. As soon as they come out the womb, man, and you want your shorty to be an athlete, I know exactly what they need to go through throughout their life so they can reach their full potential every year of their life. For first years old to 19 and then up, I know exactly what to do. So we're going to roll out a few things and get this party started. So I want to go into just some of my developments. I want the people to kind of just check it out so that y'all understand what some of y'all actually may be coming across later on in their careers, and what it is that you need to do to make sure that you have longevity, first of all, that your athlete is healthy, and then if they're getting the proper skill work so that the athlete can progress. That's the ultimate goal. So we're going to roll out some of my developments of the past, and then we'll talk about that, and then that's going to lead up to the big picture of why we take a lot of these developments for these athletes. We use their name, image, and likeness, and we build them up. And we build up our tribes, we build up our communities, our families, whatever that look like for you. But we got to be able to allow the athletes to be the pioneer of this whole thing. You feel me? So we're going to roll up. We're going to roll into the first video, just a development so you guys can have a understanding of what it is that I got going on with these babies. You know what I'm saying? So check it out. Director of Neighborhood Athletes, Lamar McMorris. Man, we got in the lab today. Just kind of building on what we've been doing the past week or two. The goal is operate in tight space, be able to keep the dribble alive, keep the feet moving, hand on top of the ball, staying low, ball below the knees. And so here we're working on that hand over dribble or that drive over dribble. It's kind of like you driving the car. You want to keep that ball as close to your stomach in that like the navel area, you know what I'm saying? And you just want to drive the ball over to the other side. Look one way, fake one way, hezzy one way. And you're gonna bring it over to the other side real quick. And that's really the setup. You can set your defender up off of that, to a counter. Because that handover move more than likely is going to happen when you're trying to drop that guy top foot. You're trying to drop that foot down. You want them to open up, and then once they open up, you're set them up for the counter, and then anything off of that should be golden. Yes, always. So as you can see, we just drilling pay attention to dribble, details. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that the athletes understand what they work and what they're doing. Cones, longer distance cones. Come out of that call it the pyramid of what I do. Create something so simple, and then we add to it. And so that's based off of their skill set. I'm gonna find the inefficiency in whatever athlete I'm working with. We try to go from one direction to another direction with speed, change directions. So right here, we try to put cones on the 3-point line all the way down to the baseline, just to kind of make it the real a little bit. We use those cones as defenders, right? So we make one move, come out of it, make a counter move, and then attack the basket. And so we rep that. We did, hella reps. The cones is kind of close. Again, we want to operate in tight space, as you can see here by Jaden. Wop, wop, and get to the basket. And they just got creative once they got to the 10. So Mari did a good job at that as well. We have Derek Rollins here, also a great player, just getting him some skill work as well, and so we consistently just, work, just that hand over dribble. And right here, we applied the same dribble, right? We took it to the wing. We worked on the drag screen, bringing it all the way down to the baseline on the corner. But now we kind of brought the drag screen to the wing area, and we worked off of that. Just another way to execute as a guard. You got to understand the floor, understand how to read the floor and those things, and see the floor while you're reading the floor. That's different. Yeah, so we rep that. As you can see, Amari here. Let's see. Bring me back there. Yep. So that's just some basketball work right there, some basketball development. I ran the work that I do. It don't matter what age you are. I'm kind of going to put you where you belong. It don't matter if you boy or girl. It don't matter if you pro, high school, little midget. If you just started, I'm gonna figure out what lane to put you in, and we gonna coast. You know what I'm saying? And so as you could tell, one of those boys in there, he about to go to Ohio State. Full ride scholarship. I done trained, develop pros. Some guys play football, they end up basketball players, and vice versa. And so I kind of take them at an early age if I can, and then we just kind of develop them up. That's just some basketball stuff. Now, when they talk about speed and agility, just kind of off of the craft, right? We talk about, it's one thing to play the game, and it's another thing to kind of notice your physical attributes, and that's where a lot of parents, they fail to recognize they athletes' physical attributes, and that's running fast, jumping high, being quick, being strong, all of those things that you need to be a productive athlete. So this next video here, you're just going to watch some of the speed and agility work that I apply when I work with some of my 5th grade teams and coaches that just want their team really to play faster. You know what I'm saying? Be more agile, be more athletic. So let's check that out.
In the sand. Good. Come on, get around it. Come on. 40 seconds. Come on, keep going. Let's go. Keep going. Push. Chop them feet. Chop. Work. Yep. Keep going. Get around that. Cone. Get around that. Good.
So it's about that motivation, man.
Feet. Chop. Backwards.
Hey.
Yeah.
If they parents ain't gonna motivate them, they show won't. I'm gonna motivate them.
7, 6.
Shit, I be losing my damn voice sometimes. I be getting headaches and shit.
Get around that cone. Turn and sprint. Turn.
Some of them shorties think they can't move in a certain way, man. So I gotta get it out of them.
Come on. Get that work. Come on, sprint. Slide. Get down. Get low. Get lower than that. Lower. Sprint. Slide. Get around that cone. Stick it. Come on. 1 foot. Knee up. Use your hands. Get up. That's it. Sprint this way. Yep. Stick it. Sprint towards me. Yep. Sprint towards me. Stick it. Here we go. Good. Good. 1. Up. Good. Get it up. Come on. Stick it. Up. Good. Come on. Up. Get them knees up. Yeah. That's it. Get them up. Come on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Better. I would like. Yeah. So there you see that. Let me get this back together here. Let me blow me back up. There we go. So again, that's just working on some speed and agility. And as you can tell, those kids was younger than the first set of athletes, you know, when we was in the gym. So as you can see, we can always work on skill sets as it relates to the craft, whether that's basketball, football, baseball, or whatever. But then there's an aspect of you gotta improve your physical component so that you can perform at your best. And so those are two aspects that I bring together. I try to tie both together, and then, you know, create a business out of that. So that's what I do as it relates to development and training, and many other trainings in between, with a recovery and prevention stage when it comes to injuries and so forth. So now that you see that, right, just in a nutshell, what it is that neighborhood athletes do as it relates to many athletes. Now just imagine just all of that, right? And then for whatever sport, let's say basketball and football, you know, you controlling just that whole narrative of a routine for the athlete where they eating adequate meals, you know, 5 to 6 meals a day. We know athletes don't eat adequate meals throughout the day, just kind of based on their location for whatever reason. So how can we capture the athletes at their best times, right? And I have yet to see somebody come up with a plan where you can house these athletes and you can be able to basically parent them as if they was your own child. And you focus on things that relates to their craft. From studying the game, watching film, to the physical trainings with weightlifting and those things, to learning about the craft with skill work, to nutrition. So all of these things can be controlled inside of a home, inside of a village, inside of a tribe. So I like to search for land, you know, and some of the things I do for real estate. And my thing is, we have a lot of people talking about giving back and what that looks like. And I feel like a lot of people don't even know what that looks like. And so I think you can't knock somebody. It don't matter what their status is, how much money they have or whatever. If, for one, you don't know what that look like, and maybe you got to consider if they don't know what that look like. So the best thing to do is kind of put out your own versions of what that look like. Give your own script of what that looked like. So I'm gonna give my own version of my own script of what this looked like, and let's see if we can get people to wanna give comments. Let's get people to kind of engage, or should we just wait till Thursday? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we should wait till Thursday, because one thing I know, especially about people that I kind of grew up with or know in the atmosphere that I know, well, what people tend to do is they try to take a little bit of your flavor, right? And they try to add a lot of their flavor to your flavor. Your little bit of flavor, right? It kind of opens up the opportunity for them to add a lot of their flavor, what that looks like. So until I give a little bit of my flavor, right, I need to get a lot of people to tap in, right? We need to go ahead and like and subscribe that button. You know what I'm saying? Like and subscribe the button, my YouTube followers, that Facebook people, the likes and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because before I roll out this plan, man, hey, this plan can be developed anywhere. And there's people with major money and major resources, and it could be something that could be done, and so I'm gonna roll that out on Thursday. That's what we're gonna do to set the tone for this Thursday. So we're gonna do that this Thursday, man. Like I said, this one was gonna be a short one. Because again, man, I'm giving back, man. I gotta go, tap in with these shorties, man. Try to give them some work, man, and give them some knowledge when it comes to this game of basketball. So I'm gonna go do that here today with these shorties here in a little bit. But I wanted to get on here, man, because again, I'm trying to figure out the best times to get on and come up with a set time to be on here on every Tuesday and Thursday. So we're gonna end this thing, man. Hey, for those who kind of chimed in, it was a short notice, but it's a good notice. You feel me? You can always go watch it again. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Own Your Highlight podcast, brought to you by Neighborhood Athletes. Hey, man, thank y'all for chiming in. We're going to be on Thursday, and it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So I appreciate y'all. Peace.